name's Jill. This is such an honor to create this video just for you. I'm sure when you saw the book for the first time, you thought it's for someone much younger than you, right? Well, your Grammie wanted you to have a keepsake and this message of hope. But this is such an honor for me to tell you more because you are older. You see, this book didn't happen just overnight. It's taken my lifetime. There's two characters, Olivia and Havivi, in the book, and they have a special love. You see, when I was a little girl, I had a best friend. No, it wasn't a donkey, but you know what? It was a horse called Prince, and he did look like a donkey. But see, God allowed me to have such a deep love for Prince, and he was my best friend. So when it came time that he called me to create this book, it made sense because I had experienced it. See, God is calling you to do something great in your life. You may not know what it is now, but when you look back, you will see how God has been preparing you all along. I want to welcome you to Through the Eyes of a Donkey. I am going to read the story to you, but I hope that you can find the message within that we are all called. This comes to you, a special Christmas gift from Grammie, who loves you and wants to wish you a Merry Christmas. Let's begin. So hi, my name is Olivia, and I am excited to share a beautiful story with you. The power of God works in and through the lives of all of us. Taylen, you know who Jesus is, right? Of course you do. So this story is about how God used a simple little donkey to help Jesus. When I was a baby, my family received a little donkey to help carry me around. His name was Havivi, which means friend or dearly loved in Hebrew. So here's a challenge, Taylen. Can you say Havivi? He was always by my side and he watched over me. He would tickle me with his fuzzy nose on my cheek, making me giggle. He was my best friend. We had no secrets, and Havivi shared the best stories. It's true. He could talk just like the donkey in the Bible. You can find that story in the book of Numbers 22, verse 28. Taylen, take the time to read it. It will show you how anything and everything is possible with God. But Havivi, he was a special gift from God. One day my father said that God told him that Havivi must go to our neighbor Joseph. Joseph, his wife Mary, and their unborn child were required to travel to Bethlehem to register for the king. Even though I was heartbroken at the thought he would no longer be mine, I knew he would never be far from me. Havivi told me about how he carried Mary on his back. He stepped gently to make sure he did not slip and fall. He asked God to guide his footsteps and heard God's voice in his ear with words of comfort and wisdom. With each mile, Havivi grew stronger and his confidence soared because he knew God chose him. Now arriving in Bethlehem, they tried to find their way through the enormous crowd. Havivi was alert and tried not to stumble on the cobblestone streets. Again, he felt God's presence of peace as they moved along their divine path. Now the day turned to night quickly, and Joseph knew that he had to find a place to rest. Mary would brush Havivi's fur with a mother's touch. She would gently talk to him along the way, showing her love for him. Joseph couldn't find an inn because they were all full, but finally, an innkeeper took mercy on them and offered them a place in his barn. Because the journey was long, Havivi began to drift off to sleep. There was a gentle breeze, a beautiful scent, and now a new sound. The voice of a baby was such a blessing to the ears. High in the sky, the stars shone bright like a diamond on this holy night. Now that night there were shepherds in the field attending to their sheep. The angel of the Lord appeared and told them the great news that their Lord and Savior had been born in Bethlehem, the city of David. The angel told them to follow the star to the Holy Child. Filled with joy, they began their journey to this holy place to bring him honor. Now the shepherds followed the star and quietly entered the stable. A little shepherd boy knelt beside Jesus and began to sing sweetly in his ear to bring him honor. Habibi felt it his duty to watch over the baby while the others entered that night. So with his nose, he squeezed in to be by this precious child. Now King Herod heard about this precious child, and so he ordered 3 wise men to go and immediately report back to him. When they saw the star, a great joy filled their hearts. And when they arrived in the stable, they bowed down to the King of Kings, the Son of God. They presented him with frankincense, gold, and myrrh. This Son of God slept by candlelight. His glow warmed the cool night air. And as the shepherd boy continued to sing, a small child known as a drummer boy began to keep time. The heavenly music soothed their souls. Habibi watched as Mary wrapped Jesus in his blanket. He marveled at how her touch was so gentle. Mary began to settle in, but turned and looked at her sweet donkey. Walking to Habibi, she threw her arms around his neck and said, "Thank you. You have served God well." Mary then led Habibi to Jesus and asked him to watch over him in the night. Snuggling up to the sweet boy, Habibi watched every breath he took. In the quiet of the night, Habibi began to realize how God had called him for this divine moment. That honor filled his heart with joy. Taylen, I hope you've enjoyed this story. Habibi has taught us many things, and his words will forever ring in my ears. As I snuggled up against his neck, Habibi said to make Jesus my best friend and ask him into my heart. Remember, Jesus is always near, so never be afraid, and always look for God's hope in my life. Taylen, this message is for you too. May you be blessed and know that you are loved. Your friends, Olivia and Habibi. Well, the story has come to an end, but there are activities at the back of this book. But Taylen, I encourage you to look at the back to the meaning of Olivia. That came to me in a dream, and apply that to your life. Thank you so much for being a part of the Hope Journey, listening to Through the Eyes of the Donkey, and know that you are loved. And Merry Christmas, Taylen.